Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Janelle and in today's video we are going to be talking about my African knotless small braids and the whole experience of how I got it done, how long it took me, how to take care of it, and we'll be answering a lot more other common questions, I guess. So let's start from why I decided to get African braids. Well, the summer's almost over. We're almost done having nice weather. The days aren't too hot anymore, even though yesterday was like 90 degrees all day long. I got my hair braided probably the second week of August, so it's been like 2 weeks so far, and I love it. I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels, even though it feels like you have some kind of, fake, really harsh plastic hat on. And the first 2 nights were so hard to sleep. I was waking up probably every 10 minutes, but then fall back asleep. It was just uncomfortable and pretty tight, but still that doesn't stop me from loving my braids. With these braids, I feel like my look has changed so much. I feel like I am badass now, and it makes me want to make bold decisions, and I feel very confident. I feel very brave. I don't know why, it's just hair, right? But still, it changes just the whole way you carry yourself. It changes the whole way you feel yourself. So if you're thinking to get African braids, we'll talk about pros and cons, but I definitely recommend getting it. A little bit of prehistory about me wanting to get my hair braided is that I probably wanted to get African braids my whole entire life. I just love the look of it. I just love that you don't have to brush your hair, wash your hair every single day, because I have girlfriends that are washing their head pretty much every single day, and then they blow dry it, and then they brush it really hard. And I myself have really curly hair, so the only way I can brush my hair is when it's wet, but I don't like washing my hair every single day because it's just not good for your head. Then a lot of oil comes out of your scalp and stuff like that. So I tried to minimize washing my hair to probably a couple times a week. It still was hard, especially having 3 babies, 3 under 2. I barely get any time to actually take care of my hair the way it should be, because my hair is pretty long. It's like this long, and the African braids that I got braided is like double that. So back to me wanting to get my hair braided for a while, I started Googling. I was Googling braiding salons near me, and I found this one in West Haven, which is not too far from where I live. It's called Orange Braiding. I'll leave their Instagram right here, and those beautiful ladies did this job. It was really hard for them, and I mean for me too, sitting there for 6 hours, but there were 2 ladies. It took them 6 hours, yeah, even though I brought my laptop with me and I was editing a vlog while I was sitting there waiting for them to finish braiding me up. But when I just came to the salon, I was like, can we do 100 braids? They're like, are you sure you want that? Because first, it's gonna be very heavy. Second, it's going to take a lot longer. And third, well, it's just hard. So I ended up with 70 small braids, and I think that's good enough for me, because when I had 6 or 5 of them left to braid still, I was like, oh my gosh, please, can we already be done? So as I said before, 2 ladies were braiding my hair, and they were professionals. Their fingers were working so fast braiding the fake hair extension. It's called, I think, Kenny Callan or something like that. I'll just put the name of it right here. They were braiding in fake hair into my hair, which it had to be really tight up here so that it just doesn't slide down or doesn't unbraid itself. That was a really hard work, and not only that, but it was also pulling my hair, because like I mentioned before, my hair is very curly and it's long. So to braid every single piece that they separate, which they separate them by like little squares here, and they start from the back. So all your hair they put over here in front, and they start separating from the back, going up and up and up your head. So as I mentioned before, I said that my braids are called knotless African braids, but I actually tied small knots on every single one of them because I didn't want it to unbraid too soon, because well, some people say that you can go with African braids for up to 3 months, but since your hair grows out on top, it might start looking a little messy, you know. So the ladies in a hair braiding salon that I went to, they said that you can come and do like a correction in front, but I don't know if I'm going to be doing this because it's been 2 weeks so far that I have these braids, and every single day it's actually getting more and more comfortable to have these. Like I sleep fine now. I don't have to like be super careful, because first couple days it's so tight that like the braids are just so tight that they don't bend like this. It's just literally straight up a stick of this fake plus your real hair, and it's so tight on the roots too that you can't go like down with your head too much, and can't really move. I actually go to Zumba classes 2 times a week, and I had to skip my class the day after I got my hair braided because it was so tight. I thought that my head would probably rip off if I went and tried doing Zumba exercises, you know, with this tightness on my head and heaviness, because this is probably extra pound or maybe even 2 pounds on my weight, because I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm crazy about going on a scale every single day, and I definitely should have checked my weight before going to get my hair braided and after, because that way I would have known for sure how much it weighs, but I didn't do that, so I'm just guessing that it's like a pound or 2. Actually, not that long ago, I had my sister braid my real hair into little braids. I think we ended up having like 25 braids, 22 braids, and it looked sad. Well, because of all these hair extensions that they added to my braids, my hair looks awesome because first of all, there is volume over here and it looks beautiful, and also there is length that I wanted to have. Oh guys, I'm gonna show you how long it is. It goes all the way down my butt, and yeah, I'm just super happy because that is my goal. I want my real hair to be this long, and since I was getting hair extensions added to my hair, I figured why not try it and just see if I'm comfortable, if I even like it, because I've been growing my hair for like 4 years straight and only cutting little tiny pieces of the ends off. So I hope you know what I mean, because my English sometimes gets crazy. When I picked out a salon that I knew I was going to, because I found a couple quotes here and there, and I talked to people, and I just went with the way I'm feeling. I just talked to this lady, Raisa, and I loved her. I loved the way she was speaking to me. She was super nice, and I decided, okay, this is the place I'm going to. And then I started looking on Pinterest on how I actually want my braids to look, how I wanted them to be separated, whether I want squares or rhombuses, or do I want triangles, or do I want them thick, do I want them small braided, like thinly braided. I brought like 3 pictures to her and I said, this is how I want it to be. And then they just asked me if I wanted to have black hair extensions added, and I said yes, because well, my hair is black, but I don't know what the heck happened to me, but for some reason I decided to try going from black to blonde, and it turned out red. So I'm probably gonna go back to black after I take these off. Anyways, I definitely like the way black hair looks on me better because it kind of makes my skin look lighter, because I'm Asian, and as you know, there's like a stereotype that Asian skin is kind of a little yellowish. So for me, I feel like having black hair makes it a contrast and makes my skin look brighter. So the biggest question that everybody's not concerned, but everybody's curious to know about how to take care of African braids. I have washed my head once already. The day I went to braid my hair, I took a shower, so my head was clean, and then after like 4 or 5 days, I washed my head again. And it was actually not too hard. Raisa recommended that I don't actually like shampoo my head and put too much water on it, because then the hair extensions can get even heavier and it might loosen it up, so it will start sliding down your roots, and it will just get less tight. So what she recommended to do is to get a sponge, either the one you use for like dishwashing, well, a new one obviously, or the sponge that you soap up your body when you shower. So that's what I did. I literally put shampoo, I use baby shampoo for my hair, on the sponge, and I just massaged and separated every single braid and like soaked it up a little bit on the roots, just to get the sweat, the dust, all that yucky stuff off my head. I could actually like stand under the shower to wash it down, but I just used a big mug to like scoop up the water and pour it on my head to wash off the soap. And the soapy water, the shampooed water, was running down my braids, so I guess that washed them, because they don't really need to be washed. They don't get dirty, even though my hair is so long, but I'm like used to having it here all the time that I'm conscious about it. And like if I'm making soup, or if I'm cooking, or if I'm washing dishes, I just put them or tie them in a knot behind my back so that it's not on my way. But right after I washed my head, my hair was wet all day. Like I was dripping all over the floor. I had to have like a little towel walking around with me, because I stand here for 5 minutes, the floor is wet. I go there for 5 seconds, the floor is wet. So if you're getting your hair braided and you have like a day off where you don't have to be anywhere, that would be the perfect day to wash your hair, because it just takes a while for it to dry. Even if you like use towel to kind of dry it off a little bit, it still has some water dripping. That, I would say, it's inconvenient, but it didn't bother me too much, just because like I was conscious of it. I knew it was gonna happen, and it was my decision to get the braids, and I absolutely love them. So another thing that is probably a con, well, I just recently found out that I could have prevented it, but I didn't know it before. I guess I didn't do my homework good enough to like prepare myself for this. Because the hair is so tight, you can start having little like pimples on your skin, and to prevent that, you can actually like spray your head with either water or even just mist, like misting your hair a little bit, so that your skin gets this moist refreshment kinda, and doesn't start getting pimples. Because right here in the front of my head and like on the side where my hair is the thinnest, I had little pimples there, and I wouldn't say it bothered me too much, because like I don't have people staring at my roots every single day all day long. The only thing, it was a little bit itchy, so I clipped all my nails off just not to make it infected or anything like that. Like I mentioned, this spot and like right here where the bangs area is, you can see my skin under my hair because it's like thinner than it is up here. So kind of looks funny the first couple days, because when I just got my hair braided, I couldn't really put it back like this like I'm doing for the first 2 days, but then when I did, I was like, oh my gosh, I look bald. It's not that you look bald, it's that it's so tightly put together in one little, not a knot, but it's just because it's tight, alright? So yeah, taking care of African braided hair is not too hard, I'd say. The only thing is that I have short bangs and I'm trying to grow it. This is another reason why I got it braided in, is because, well, having bangs and having curly hair is just a pain in the ass. Another thing Raisa told me to do just to make it look better is like use regular oil, or like even coconut oil is fine. I used Vaseline for the top of my head, for my hair growth line, because like when I had the pimples it kind of helped it, I guess. But I am just putting oil on my braids just to make them look like they just got braided, even though it's been 2 weeks almost. I will probably go another week with these braids because I don't know, guys, to be honest, every single day I'm like, okay, I absolutely love how it looks, I will never take it off. But then, like especially at night, like when I move on my pillow, the back of my hand starts itching because I pull a little bit here and there, and I'm like, all right, tomorrow I'm taking it off. But then I wake up in the morning and nothing's itching again and everything looks great, and it's so easy to make different hairstyles with these braids. Like honestly, I would go my whole entire life with these if I could, because you don't have to brush your hair, you don't have to wash it too often, you don't have to blow dry it, you don't have to worry about a bad hair day, you know, because you can do whatever you want with these braids and they still look great. Alright, I'm just going to show you how it looks without being put in a little ponytail. This is how long it is, and my bangs is probably right here. I can actually feel it sticking out a little bit. But what I usually do is I put the majority of the front hair in the back, and I just put it up like this in a ponytail. Just make sure that you have a really strong, thick hairband, because otherwise it will rip.
What about the other hairstyle?
Yeah, so this is how it looks. It still looks long because it is long, but at the same time I don't have hair falling into my face all day. Another hairstyle that I like to do is I just put my head down like this. You guys are gonna laugh at this because my whole family laughs at me when I do this. Basically, I try to grab most of my hair, and this is what I do when I shower, because I don't want to get it every single time. It looks better when I do it in front of a mirror, okay? And I just tie the ends of it around the hairband. So this is how I shower. This is how I look when I shower. So there is this stereotype that's going around that after you get your hair braided in like African braids or dreads or any like other African style, your hair will fall out as soon as you take it off. But there is an actual reasonable explanation to this, is that normally a person, like let's talk about women, I'd say women lose about 100 hair a day, and that's totally normal. That's like nothing to be afraid of, and you don't get bald from that. But when you get your hair braided so tightly, the hair that falls out, it doesn't actually fall out, it stays there because it's braided in so tightly that it just doesn't have room to wiggle out of the braid. This is why once you take the braids off, the kanikalan, the hair extension off, the hair that's already fallen out but stayed in the braid falls out too. This is why after you get unbraided, you have to brush your hair really thoroughly just so that you don't get like your hair knotted. This is more of an like aesthetical problem, I guess, of the whole look of your hair, because it kind of looks funny. It doesn't look like dandruff, but it looks just funny. You'll see what I'm talking about once I get a little closer, but you can see like some of the hair that's already fallen out. You can see the white hair follicles that are still braided into my hair, but like I already said, no one is actually like coming up close to me staring at my roots, and like I don't think anybody sees them. It's just the fact that I know that it's there. I just go with it because I mean there's nothing I can do about it unless I want to take like scissors and try cutting every single follicle off, which is kind of ridiculous. That's pretty much it. Those are all the things that I've noticed was in these 2 weeks of having my hair braided. And let's just summarize all the good sides of having African braids and all the, I wouldn't say that they're bad, but sometimes maybe some people would get bothered by it. The biggest and the best thing about African braids is that it's a total change of the way you look. Nobody expects you to get so much change. Like, it's one thing to just dye your hair and actually damage it. Like if you go from black to blonde, which I was thinking to do that, but then I just decided not to because I knew that way my hair would be damaged forever, especially having Asian hair, which is real hard to get from the dark hair into like blondish tones. So this way, having African braids, it's kind of experimenting with my hair but without a big damage to it, you know. And I feel like my hair is actually resting and like recuperating, healing itself, I could say, from being pulled every single day, being brushed every single day, being washed often, and it's just resting because it's soundly sitting in these beautiful braids that are kind of harsh to touch, like especially for the first couple days. Once you get it done, you're like, that doesn't feel soft, it just feels so fake, because like when you touch your own hair, it's so soft and so nice, let alone like feeling it with your back or your shoulders when you have a shirt that's like uncovering your back or shoulders. Anyways, it's not too hard to wear a shirt that's not letting the hair touch your skin. I guess because this material is so harsh and it's like not very breathable, it can get irritation on your skin. So I'd be careful about that, and before you even get it braided, I would definitely check if you have like allergies or anything, because well, the process of braiding your hair takes a good chunk of time. So just make sure that you're watching, like if you're starting to have a rash or if you're starting to itch. So another huge plus side for me is that the volume of my hair feels so big and so great that I just don't feel like I am, you know, Russian people have the saying, when your hair lays without any volume on your head, they say that you look like a cow licked your head, which is I don't have this feeling with these braids because I just know that there is like so much stuff on my head that makes me feel good. And there's definitely another positive side about not washing your hair so often is that some people, they realize that washing their hair every single day is just not good. Not good for the hair because it dries out, not good for the skin because that dries out, you start having dandruff and all that yucky stuff. I was trying to train my hair for a good maybe half a year, so I went from washing every single day to washing every other day, then every 3 days, every 4 days. That was pretty much my like maximum length, my maximum period of me going without washing it. Like if you're washing your hair every single day and you want to stop doing that and you don't want to go through all that struggle of like training your hair because that takes time too and effort, you can just get your hair braided, wash it once a week if that's okay with you. It's been like probably 5 days since I washed it. I will probably wash it maybe another time and go another week with it and then take it off. That's what I'm planning to do, but I don't know. I don't plan these days because I have 3 babies and it's just hard to plan with them. But yeah, I think you can braid your hair as long as your hair is like at least 5 centimeters long, which would be like 3 inches or 4 inches. Let's talk about not the sunniest side of having your hair braided. The first and the hardest is to get it braided, which, like I already said, it took 6 hours to braid my 70 braids. If you want to have more, it will take longer. It really depends on the people who are braiding you and how good they are, because they have to make sure they separate it equally. They have to make sure they add to it equally, because like you can't make one heavier than the other one, because then your whole head balance is just gonna be jacked up, because like it's really heavy and it's tight. So you definitely want it to be the same, because otherwise, I don't know, I just don't feel like it would be right. But if you want, you can ask a professional. There you go. I'm gonna leave her Instagram here again. And yeah, it's definitely, the first couple days are a struggle because you can't really move your head, you can't exercise. I couldn't. Another tiny little thing that could bother you is that you can see your hair follicles up here, which is not too critical, because I just don't feel like people would come to you up close and look unless they're your close friends or family. But even that doesn't bother my family, because I was just talking about it to my sister before I sat down to record this video, and she was just like, so what, I know. This is pretty much it. And I don't see any other negative side or any other negative effect of having your hair braided. It can be pricey because every salon can be different. Some people charge for labor, for the time that it takes, and for the hair that it takes, the hair extension, separately. So it could be like this much for time and this much for the added hair. The salon that I went to, it wasn't like that. They just gave me a full price and I left a tip for them for the hard work that they did. But for me, it came out to be around $300, and I think that it's fully worth it because I am absolutely in love with my hair. There is nothing that I could have done or changed about it right now, and it's just a huge experience. I feel like if I didn't get it braided, I probably wouldn't be feeling the way I do now. It just adds to your confidence, it just adds to your look. Whatever you wear, everything looks so much better if you have this like cool hairstyle. Everybody I know, they were like, oh my god, you look awesome. Because I guess nobody expects an Asian girl to get African braids. Anyways guys, if you have any questions, you can comment below. If I know the answer, I will for sure reply to it. If you want to ask a professional and hear her opinion, I will also link her Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, because I know I talked a lot, and I am just so excited of having this new hairstyle that I am absolutely in love with. I will probably never stop saying how much I love it, and I will probably be sad taking it off, but I will for sure vlog it. And just subscribe to my channel. Make sure you put thumbs up to this video. Thank you guys, bye!